So we are getting into this 11/2025, November 2025 energy co-creator, and we are starting off with the channeled song, right? And Spirit said, let's get down to business. I'm giving you one more night to practice. We've had a million nights just like this. So let's get down to business, right? And Spirit says for a lot of you, this is about you moving towards your dreams. About you, as we used to say in the circles of the Christian religion, right? Being about the Father's business, right? And Spirit says it's time to get down to the business of your dreams, co-creator, right? I hear you've done so much. I hear you are deserving of so much. And it's time to get down to the business of your dreams. What are they? Right? Does it come in the form of a home? Is it the dream holiday? Is it the dream vacation? Is it a dream business? Is it outcomes that you have dreamed about? Is it predictions that you have dreamed about? Is it societal changes that you see happening, taking shape? Right? Is it the dream of things that are tied to big emotions for you? Right? Whatever that is for you, Spirit says judgment has been called. And can I say you ended up on the right side of that judgment, co-creator? You ended up deserving at the end of that road, co-creator. That this cycle ends so a new one can begin because you are deserving of it, co-creator. Ashe, Ashe, right? And because of this, Spirit says also emotional transformations are going to happen, right? In this month, right? Spirit says for a lot of you, when it comes to relationships, specifically partnerships, right? Where you're starting to trust, right? That this person is for you, right? And Spirit say it's on a deeper level than that, Naima, because for others, it's both. Right? You are really starting to trust your partnerships, but you're really starting to trust a partnership between your higher self, which is probably why your higher self has a message for you later on in this message, right? Trusting your higher self. I hear trusting Spirit. I hear trusting God, source, mother, creator, universe. Beautiful, right? And so Spirit says, right, judgment has been called because cycles are ending, 10-10 energy, and new mastery is forming, 11-11 portal energy, right? Going from that introspection, dark energy into the veil, the light energy, right? Where we master, where we manifest, right? Spirit says heavy in the energy of the fool and the magician, right? Taking that leap of faith and trusting the tools that you have to master, to manifest, to walk into, to tap into what it is that you want, right? And again, Spirit brings up relationships coming again out of that energy in October of Libra, of relationships, right? And so that's also why judgment has been called on people, places, and things, aka your relationships, aka how you are relating, co-creator, right? And Spirit says it's also because, right, judgment card is also Pluto energy. We had that Pluto and Mercury energy, right? And now we're adding with the judgment card fire, right? And Spirit says this is action, right? And for some of you, this is just the action of reflecting. Right? Sometimes we get caught up in the word action, and we feel like we have to be going and doing and moving, and right. But when you are in the energy of introspection, right? Most of the time in a meditative like state. That is action. Spirit says that is action, co-creator, right? And because of all this, right, something culminates. Something comes to fruition for this collective in the month of November. And Spirit says utopia-like energy, right? Persons, people, things, feelings, right? Spirit says you are being awarded because judgment has been called, right? You are being awarded because you're starting to understand that every day is a reward. Spirit said this collective is tapping into the energy of awareness. And that's why judgment is being called, right? Because Spirit said you ain't new to this, right? But Spirit says also they recognize that you are true to this. And you are ready for judgment to be called so that you can move forward confidently, trusting in yourself, trusting in your discernment, and having faith in where you are headed, in that energy of your dreams. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. 33 or 36, right? 42, 32, 33, 36, right? These are monumental ages that we go through, right? So significant things also with that Judgment Major Icona card happening for this collective, right? And I'm hearing with the number 655, a lot of this is internal, right? With all these emotional type of I want to say outbursts or emotional type of healing, Ashe Spirit, that this collective is going through, has been through, right? And they tell me to read that 655. So you are manifesting powerful opportunities for support and abundance. The love you have shared with the earth is now washing back and blessing your life, right? Again, letting those emotions wash away so that you can be cleansed, so that you can receive the abundance, the clarity, the emotional release that you are deserving of. And Spirit is saying for some, and for a lot of you, that's what the name of the game is. It is a major emotional release. So you may cry a lot this month. You may have started this month in tears. But again, we know that tears are sacred here. We release to receive here. And baby, when we release water, the frequency of healing, the frequency of intuition, the frequency of spirit, movement. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So your root chakra is very important, co-creator, in the month of November. Ashe, or whenever this message is finding you, right? Coming out of the energy of our solar plexus and our sacral chakra, right? Our creativity and our will, right? Spirit says it's now time to ground it. And I heard 9, right? 9, the energy of almost complete, the energy of fulfillment, the energy of release, right? Spirit says the energy of receiving, right? So now Spirit says the root chakra is important for this collective because it's grounded and it's rooted awareness that you are now tapping into. That is being extended to you, right? Because Spirit says it's already happened. And it's working out in your favor, right? Spirit says you've done the leg work. the frequency work, and so has others. So for this collective, if you've been meditating with groups, or if you've just been ashe, I feel like in the energy of the spiritual journey, where we kind of know where things are going, right? We understand that what we want to manifest as a collective is a world that is peaceful, a world that etc., right? So the work that you've been doing, along with the work of other light workers, right, or other light beings, other homo luminous ashe um beings, right, is already grounded this energy of dreams here in your field, on this earth, in this planet. So Spirit says, relax, right? Handle the business of your emotions and of releasing, so that you can relax and not pull to receive, but release to receive. So you're not pulling to receive, you're surrendering to receive. Because again, the leg work's already been done, right? We ain't getting into the business of getting the business done. We getting into the business of receiving dreams, of surrendering, of becoming an empty vessel so that we can be filled, and fulfilled. Ashe, right? So surrender, trust, right? Again, that's all root chakra energy, security, inner child work, right? Our root chakra is solidified so that we can trust what we create and what we have the will to move forward on or into, right? And Spirit says, right, and make sure that we're doing this grounding as our authentic self. And yes, the reminder will continue to come to you, co-creator, because it is hard to say F it, mask off, right? We've come from a society that almost dangles out mask, right, to us, saying that who we are is okay, right? But who that person is, or what that person does, or the dreams of this person, right, may have more merit than ourselves, and that is an absolute untruth. Each of us carry dreams. Each of us have merit. Each of us are deserving. And that comes in the shape and forms of many things. And there's a gaslighting, there's a don't allow yourself to be downplayed. Whatever it is that you dream, know that it is a worthy dream. And that the legwork has been laid, baby. And it's time for you to relax, to trust, to surrender, to create, to receive, and to move forward. Ashe. So in the month of November, we are talking about introspection. Ashe. We're talking about that continuation of going within, especially when it comes to high emotional or intense situations for this collective consciousness, really, right? As we hit in, or as we tap into the energies of retrogrades, right? Which we know on this page is just stop, wait, pause, and think about it before you move forward, co-creators, right? And Spirit is saying that the spirit animals, raccoon and owl, will help this collective to navigate through those retrogrades, right? Because we have the retrograde of Mercury, Ashe, happening, and we have the retrograde of Jupiter happening, right? And I believe Mercury is on the 9th, Ashe, and Jupiter the 11th, Ashe. And when Mercury deals with our travel, our communication, it deals with our thinking process, right? And Jupiter deals with abundance. Jupiter deals with expansion, right? And so when these two planets go into retrograde, it just means that we need to stop, wait, and pause and think about before we expand, right? Before we sign a contract, before we make travel plans, before we save something on our computer that is very important and we don't back up, right? It's saying stop, wait, and pause and think about it, right? Before you move forward, not don't move forward, but before you move forward. But the energy of the raccoon and the owl is also here to help us, Ashe, navigate this. So we're going to go to our spirit animal tarot and see what the message is there. And then we're going to move forward, Ashe, into the next part of your monthly energy message, Ashe. So we are going to start with the raccoon, Ashe, because the first one Spirit gave me. So that is the Page of Feathers, Ashe, the raccoon. Come on now. Curious and playful, raccoon loves to explore every nook and cranny of his terrain. And he doesn't hesitate to go after what he wants, Ashe. Brimming with ideas, he's a seeker who is adept at solving or adept at solving mysteries. Raccoon is your guide in the craft of exploring new ideas and how to best act on them, Ashe. With his bright and alert ways, he'll keep you on your toes. Fresh concepts are surfacing as shifts are taking place within and around you. Your boundaries, your boundless quest for knowledge will break through old programming, making room for new thoughts and viewpoints. And that's what we were talking about, right? Letting go of old emotions, right? To let in, Spirit says, new joyful emotions, new emotions that are just good, so that you continue, Ashe, to call in, to reflect, right? That good energy. I hear that good notion, that good idea. Ashe. Keywords, ideas, curiosity, plans, alert, exploration, discovery, inspiration, and honesty. Right? And I heard honesty. I heard be honest about your emotions. Don't be afraid to explore, like the raccoon, your emotions. Go within, co-creator, because there is a treasure trove of ideas, of inspiration, of mastery waiting for you there. Ashe. And the owl, the moon, imagination, perception, right? Owl's time is the night, when subconscious powers are at their peak. By the light of the owl and her mysterious moon comes a flood of insight. A silent observer of intuitive knowledge, owl pierces through illusions, bringing the hidden to light. The imagination is a powerful tool, co-creator. It can be used creatively, or it can be used to strike terror within. Emotions will always shape the perception of any situation. Hello. It's the synchronicities for me. Owl is here to assist you in seeking your way clearly through, or seeing your way clearly through fear and into the light of truth. Even in the cloak of darkness, your path will be illuminated, co-creator. Trust in your instincts. Pay attention to your dreams and watch for signs that will guide you. Keywords, intuition, dreams, emotions. It's the synchronicities for me. Imagination, perception, illumination, emerging awareness. So Spirit is saying, in that energy of retrogrades, right? Understand that all that comes from that all in the dark must come to the light, right? So again, don't hesitate. Instead, think about it. Instead, process it and then move forward. But don't stop, right? Go within, find clarity, go within, explore, then trust your intuition and move forward. Ashe. So this month, your higher self wanted to give you a message, co-creator, especially as this collective is in the energy of intense emotional situations, right? Intense emotional introspection. Your higher self said, inspiration, Naima, right? When they are going through these intense ups and these intense Ashe dips, right? Because we never fall down, Ashe, when we choose to walk this journey, but we do experience contrast. Come on now, energy, oracle, or shout out to energy oracle, or we experience, right, dips. We never hit rock bottom. We never go back down to the place that we were, but we do experience, right, that incline and that decline. So your higher self says split. Oh, come on now, co-creator. And what shows up is, I know that each breath confirms that I am alive and far from finished, right? With the airplane going overhead, right? I'm hearing those vacations travel for some of you, right? And again, in that Mercury retrograde energy, right? Which does not say do not travel, but it does say make sure you get you some insurance, right? Ashe. It does say make sure you have a backup plan. It does say make sure you're double checking, right, your flights, right, and preparing, right, just in case, right? But I know that each breath confirms that I am alive and far from finished. I am just getting started, right? That in the energy of healing from emotional situations, traumas, for some, right, that this is just the beginning, that this is just another death, another rebirth of who we are, right? And a lighter version of ourselves. And they say one more card from your higher self, and they say, I really need them to know. I know that I must stay in the present moment to enjoy the journey. I am right here. I hear tapping in. I hear your higher self say, baby, we are right here. You are right there at the cusp of something big. You are right there for a reason, co-creator. And your higher self wants you to understand that more than anything this month. Ashe, 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 ashe. I know that sitting in silence is the surest way to hear my intuition speak. I am listening. I am staying present in the moment. I am enjoying my journey. I am right here. And in this silence, I allow my intuition to speak. Listen, co-creators. Ashe, ashe, ashe. What a beautiful message from your higher self, saying that, baby, you are always on the right path. So the angels are out for this month, Ashe, co-creator, and again with the culmination of energies this month, and it being a time of introspection and emotional reflection and release, support is here for this collective, right? With your higher self coming through, and now with the angels coming through with a specific message aside from Ashe, your angel number message, and as anxiety comes up, right? And we like to call that excitement over here of anything, right? But it says we surround you with the healing light of amethyst, right? Take a deep breath, co-creator, and breathe in this beautiful violet light. Feel your anxiety melt away. There is nothing to fear. There is only love. Ashe, Ashe. So let go of this excitement, this anxiety, any fear that you may be feeling about your dreams, about closing out cycles, right? Because Spirit says you are supported and baby, you are ready to move forward, right? As long as you move forward with integrity, then Archangel Metatron is also with you this month. I am your link between heaven and earth, between your humanity and your divinity. I am here to help you heal the conflict that exists between your heart and mind. Feel me in your heart and thoughts. Through oneness, there is love. Be flexible, but be also true to you. Stand by your beliefs and values, and others will stand by and believe in you. And I hear that's your angels. In this time of change, of emotional upheaval, of emotional healing, life is a journey. It would be very unfulfilling if each step was exactly the same as the last, because life is always changing. It is forever fresh and new. Allow your life to unfold gracefully. Be grateful for what was, is, and forever will be. I hear allow me to support you. I hear your angels say they are ready. They are always willing, and they are always listening. Ashe. And your angel numbers for this month, co-creator, are 125, 126, and 789. Let's get into that first set of messages. And your messages read, your angels are encouraging you to know that you have always done everything to the best of your knowledge and experience. When you are facing a roadblock or something is going quote unquote wrong, Ashe, trust that God, Source, Mother, Universe, Ashe, has something better planned for you, right? And 789, major spiritual changes are unfolding around you. This is a time for you to fully overcome your greatest fear and face darkness eye to eye, which is the theme, and it's the synchronicities for me for this month. You have the chance to soar, but it's dependent on your willingness to overcome your darkest shadow. If you are facing a roadblock, know and trust that God, Source, Mother, Creator, Universe is creating a better plan for you, Ashe, and that they understand that you are moving in accordance with your best foot forward. Ashe. Let's get into the next numbers. And your next set of numbers, Ashe, for this month are 1111, Ashe, 111, 101, and 22, Master Builder. Okay, so we're going to start with 1111, and this is time, Ashe. You are one with God, Source, Mother, Creator, Universe, angels, and ascended masters. Align your thoughts with the highest goodness and truth in order to bring love into the world. Ashe, Earth Angel, come on now. You know who you are. 111. You are one with all that is. Know that all you are doing and giving is for the world and all the beings in it. 101. God, source, mother, creator, universe is within and is listening closely to all of your prayers and intentions. And the last number, 22, co-creator. You are at a crucial point on your journey, which will help you understand the relationships and spiritual assignments that will support your growth. I hear you are aligned. You are becoming aligned. Your need, your willingness to become aligned is aligning you. Right? Reflections. I am what I eat. Ashe, right? I am what I believe. And your team is really pointing this out to you as you will be going through somewhat of an emotional time for most of this collective. They want you to remember who you are, what you are capable of. Who, and I hear, and who goes before you? Earth angel, light bearer, light worker, homo luminous. Ashe, 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 ashe. Let's get into these dates and close this thing out. So we are getting into your main dates, Ashe, for this month, co-creator. And your main dates are, again, Samhain, happen 11/1 through 11/6, and that's our celebration of the harvest, Ashe. You have your full moon in Taurus, 11/5. You have Mercury retrograde, 11/9. You have Jupiter retrograde, 11/11. You have your 11/11 portal time, Ashe. You have your new moon in Scorpio, 11/20. And you have the sun enters Sagittarius, aka Sagittarius season. Come on now, 11/21. So we are going to get more in depth with these dates and time frames for this month, and we're going to break them down into quarters, Ashe. So let's get into it. So like I said before, this month is all about, right, that emotional release, emotional transformations, Ashe, and how we find clarity to let go and to move forward in this energy that may seem heavy and want to weigh us down, right? So November 1st through November 7th, we're in the energy of release and reevaluation, right? As we're closing out the cycles, reevaluating some of our core values, right? When these emotional situations happen, right? And it's mainly because, hello to my Scorpios, right? The sun still sits in Scorpio right now, which is a very emotional sign, right? Which sign is heavily influenced by rebirth, by death, by becoming anew, right? By releasing, Ashe, and introspection, right? And honesty, right? And November 5th, we have that full moon in Taurus, right? And it's a super moon. And again, it's about that culmination of release, right? Regarding security, finances, relationships, the home, Ashe. It's a really good time for this collective and for the collective consciousness to really tap into that first pull towards releasing these highly charged emotional feelings that the collective will have, right? Especially in relationships, right? And material attachments. A lot of you will be dealing with the energy of lack, right? Or devil energy, and what that and how to heal from that, right? November 6th, Venus enters Scorpio. Again, we're talking about our relationships and boundaries, right? So it's like, use this full moon during this first quarter of this month to help you to release, to relax, to relate, Ashe, co-creator. And and move forward, most importantly, right? So November 8th through November 14th, we are taking a deep dive, and we are, most importantly, co-creators, we are trusting our intuition. You can never say it as a reader enough. Trust yourself, trust your gut, trust your intuition. Ashe. As our intuition is going to be really heightened because the retrogrades, right, start to roll in. So we have to trust ourselves. We have to go within. We have to stop, wait, pause, and think about things before we move forward, and trust what our intuition is telling us in each one of those steps. Ashe. And then, okay, right, because Mercury retrograde happens on the 9th. And that's communication, that's travel, that's time to review, revise, and take a closer look at our plans, at our finances. Our finances, okay. And that's still Jupiter retrograde energy, so I can understand that. And then let's just head on. November 11th is your Jupiter retrograde energy, and it begins in Cancer, right? And again, it's about growth, and about going inward to find out, how do you grow? How do you expand? And then trust it and move towards it, right? And so on that same day, right, 11, when Jupiter goes into retrograde, where we're really starting to think about how we expand, we are smack dab in the middle of a portal, right? And portals are all about us taking things that we want to move forward with and leaving things behind that we don't, activating things that we want to activate, and leaving things that we may have activated before, that we just that didn't align with us, or through the same, for some of you, don't align with this new timeline, right? So the opening of new timelines during this portal, right? And so 1111 portal is all about spiritual awakening. It's about intuition. It's about manifestation. It's about being in the in-between, right? This collective is no stranger to being behind the veil, right? And Spirit says you've been doing practicing, right? Last month. So now, right, you should be a vet at this. Come on now, co-creator, right? So Spirit says during this time, trust your gut feelings. For a lot of you, do meditation, right? Or prayer, right? This is only going to help you to align with what you want, especially during that 1111 portal, right? Keeping in mind that retrograde energy of Mercury and of Jupiter, right? So Spirit says, use this 1111 portal energy for powerful intentions, Ashe, this quarter, right? And listen to your inner wisdom, right? Rather than listening to external forces, right? Because this is all about you looking within, so that you can expand, so that you can create what it is that you truly want, that you truly desire, that you truly want to walk towards, co-creator, right? And if not in the bigger picture, the life purpose picture, then in the picture of just this month, of where you of you wanting to walk down the street and get you some ice cream, right? It could be that small, or it could be you walking towards your life purpose, or it could be that big. Ashe. So your third quarter, November 15th through November 21st, it's all about transformation and new beginnings, right? And it's just like the shedding of old skin and preparing for new skin, right? The butterfly is what Spirit is telling me, right? There's a strong emphasis on transformation, on shifts, towards lighter and more expansive energy, right? Again, it's the synchronicities for me, right? Responsibilities may be becoming more clear for you during this time, right? And regaining a more sense of structure after you've done a lot of this introspection into what you truly want, right? We have a new moon in Scorpio, and it's a time for emotional healing, shadow work, and setting intentions for radical rebirth and transformation. November 21st, Sun enters Sagittarius, right? And this energy is optimism. This energy is the desire to be knowledgeable and to focus on bigger and better horizons. And what a beautiful way, right, to end that third quarter, right, where Spirit says it's about to embracing new opportunities, having a clean slate, using this new moon um for deep change, to support the deep change that you want in your life, right? Begin to plan for future adventures or educational pursuits as the energy shifts towards Sagittarius season, which is what Sagittarius is all about, right? And November 22nd through November 30th, we have the energy of clarity and forward movement, and we know, or momentum, and we know that that is what this collective is about. We are mystics, right? Gaining clarity so that we can move forward, so that we are always in the energy of forward momentum, so that we can embrace the energy of change. Ashe. And this quarter is when we start to come up out of that retrograde energy, right, where we've gained some clarity, where we've tapped in and started to trust ourselves and our intuition, right? And the key is long-term goals, right? What clarity do you need to now turn those dreams into, or Spirit is saying to surrender to those dreams? What do you now? You know what you needed to do to get them, to start them, to embrace them, and now Spirit is saying surrender to the plan of you holding on to them in the long term, right? Communication is key here. Clarity comes from that, right? And as Mercury comes out of retrograde, right, it allows us to communicate a lot of those big emotions that we were having, to really close out those cycles, right? And in a nutshell, right, this introspection, right, helps us to really solidify some of those lessons that we learned from that 10-10 portal, from the closing out of those cycles, and it's helping us to embrace what we've obtained, the blessings, the wisdom, and the gifts from it, right? And how we can use them, these tools, moving forward to solidify this dreamy Piscean-like energy that is emotional, that can be heavy, but can be also light and optimistic this month. Ashe, 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 ashe. Right? As we move into December, Spirit says, with more clarity and more faith in our purpose. Namaste. And Ashe, co-creator. And if I don't see you on the flip side, have an amazing month. Ashe.